It's another day with the physicians where your health is our business. It's growth spot the end. So you are not going to take some drastic measures. But a 10-year-old coming, pressure is high. But also to know that it's not only when your pressure is high that you have glaucoma.
And I don't know about any other one, but what do you know?
You're welcome back to the training of the regular program. You start with the mother. You are talking of bonding. Breastfeeding brings a good bonding between the mother and the child. Stage 4 cancer is sometimes referred to as metastatic cancer because it often means the cancer has spread from its origin to distant parts of the body. This stage may be diagnosed years after the initial cancer diagnosis and or after the primary cancer has been treated or removed. Stage 4 cancer is the most advanced stage of cancer. It is diagnosed when cancer cells spread or metastasize to other parts of the body away from the original tumor site. As such, stage 4 cancer is also called metastatic cancer. Although some people with stage 4 cancer can live for years, the prognosis often isn't good. Therefore, the goal of treatment is not to cure the cancer, but to slow or stop its growth, relieve symptoms, and extend survival time. Our guest today is a stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm sure you want to hear the experience. So our topic will be the experience of a stage 4 cancer survivor. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're on to your regular program, The Physicians, where your health is our business. My name is Dr. Martina Agberie, your usual anchor on this program. I have with me my guest, a cancer survivor. She is Dr. Amadasun Izuhunwa. I think I got it right. Izuhunwa.
Yes.
She is a medical doctor, an entrepreneur, and of course an author. She is also a stage 4 cancer survivor. She's going to tell us her experience now. So Dr. Amadasun, you're welcome to our program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so what is it really like to battle cancer?
It's a very, very, very tough experience. Cancer is, when someone first hears the word cancer, the typical feeling, the typical emotion is fear, right? Because we hear so many bad things about it. Cancer to many people feels like it's a death sentence.
True.
Especially in this part of the world. We just wonder like, okay, how are people actually going to get through this? For the survivor, like hearing that diagnosis, it's such a shock, right? It means that things in your life are definitely going to change. And you start praying for the best, hoping for a good outcome. You're trying to rally. It's a shock to like your loved ones. It's something that can really destabilize someone. So it's very, very tough. And the thing about cancer, I mean, there are many kinds of cancers. It can affect virtually any part of the body. But the thing with that is, people typically talk about treating, managing cancer, right? It's not one of those illnesses where, okay, it has this, there's just this particular drug, there's just this particular thing that you give and it just disappears. Like all you need to do is finish treatment and then it just goes. Cancer is a very, very tricky disease.
Okay. So you want to tell us your experience? How did it start? When did you notice it? What are the symptoms? What you noticed? And the diagnosis that was made? Then how did you take the diagnosis, the acceptance? Then at what point did you decide that, okay, I have to pull through this? What do I need to do? What did you do? So let us hear from you.
Okay, so for me, I was just going about practicing in a hospital, doing my usual doctor job, and then because I was diagnosed with stage 4 rectal cancer, so the symptoms for me that really like began my whole journey to diagnosis was I started noticing blood in my stool. And initially, I thought, okay, could it be like an infection? Like, I mean, yeah, something like that. Just one of those like common things. But then there was some pain also, my lower abdomen. It's just things that, and deep down, I just had this feeling that something was really off. And I mean, I'm really thankful for my medical knowledge. It made me push to have a colonoscopy, which is basically how you are able to look into the large intestine, and that was how my diagnosis was made. It was like shocking to the person who was doing the test, and then from there, okay, we had to have a biopsy done to actually confirm, and yeah, it was cancer, and that led to other investigations, tests being done, and to see that it had spread. I mean, things like my liver were affected. So wow. it was literally already at stage 4. So for me, it was, I mean, really shocking, because you hear about, I mean, such cases. I mean, we like to think of cancer as something that happens in just older people, or there has to be like the risk factors that we know about. Okay, somebody was smoking a lot, or there are just certain unhealthy lifestyles, or maybe the person has it running in the family or something like that. I didn't have any of such. So it was such a strange thing out of the blue, and it was really about, okay, I beat this. So it was about, okay, how can I access said care? Thankful for, I mean, I've had my family, they were just my rock in that whole time, trying to make sure, okay, could get the best treatments and all, and just really be as hopeful as possible. There were really, really like bad moments. I mean, if I talk about my cancer experience, there are times that I was in a whole lot of pain, yeah, that didn't subside, even like with strong medication, things like morphine. Like I was still in such intense pain, and a whole lot of other things. So yeah, for cancer, there is what the illness would do to your body, and it weighs you down. Since I was already at stage 4, it had to be like a more kind of aggressive treatment, and the treatments also come with its own kind of issues. It's trying to help your body, but then yes, the other parts of your body really feel it. So having to deal with all that was tough. It was tough. It really was tough. And no matter what kind of cancer one has, no matter like the stage, there's always some real battle that one has to actually go through. So
how did you get through that period? Were there trying moments for you, like wanting to give up because of the medication you were taking, the side effects? How about you? Also want to hear from the family support. Apart from your will, what are the things that are required? Because we want people out there that are probably watching, who are actually going through, or the family members are going through this, to know that there is actually a possibility of surviving.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you go through it? What kind of support did you have? Did you have your treatment here?
Okay, so I wish I could say that I was like strong all through treatment, or I didn't have like low moments. I was always hopeful, but that was not the case, because I had a very up and down journey. There's some days that okay seem fair, or it seemed like oh things were getting better, and then something else comes up. So it was really tough. I had my treatments, like I actually traveled to US. Luckily I was able to go to US at the time, and that's where my treatments actually started. Then I came back to Nigeria, did some bit of it. Then the last bit of my treatments was in India, so I kind of went around for different kinds of treatments, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, immunotherapy. Was like a whole lot of that. And yes, I had to. A lot of it is the mental battle. So sure, yes, yeah. I had to try as best as I could. I mean, strong. There were some moments of weakness, definitely. There were some that I just did not understand, like, why is this happening to me? I tried to at least live a healthy of lifestyle. I mean, I don't always succeed, but I do try. And why is this befalling me? It was very, very confusing. And yeah, the toll the cancer was taking on me, the toll the treatments were taking on me, it wasn't easy. So yeah, I mean, it was thanks to different things. When somebody will ask how did you get through it, it's really different things. I mean, there's first of all, I mean, God's goodness is at the forefront of everything, because I've been able to kind of experience, just observe around me things that other survivors have gone through, and just how things work in the world. And I mean, that I was able to get through that, whilst some people do not make it. That's the reality. Some people who were even, maybe theirs was caught earlier, for instance, still end up not making it. So there's a lot of factors at play. I mean, God was really, really, really amazing through that process. Yes, my family. So in terms of, I mean, the resources to be able to do these treatments, cancer care, healthcare generally, but cancer care in particular is no joke when it comes to expenses. Like every single thing is pricey, no matter where you are. So them having to sacrifice a whole lot matters, having to sacrifice their time to take care of me, go with me through the trips. I mean, my dad, mom, brothers, they're my friends too. And in that time, because cancer seems to kind of be the focus of one's life at that time, I definitely needed a lot of healthy distractions. So anything close to normalcy as much as possible. Maybe just watching movie, maybe playing board games, just things that kept me engaged and occupied, and at least took my mind off cancer.
Were you in a support group? Did you join a support group?
Yes. So as part of, and this was towards the end actually, there is a support group. The hospital I got treatment here in Lagos, they have a support group, and yeah, I was part of that. But the initial support group I had really was the family, friends, and then the healthcare.
Okay, just hold it. The initial support group is your family, and actually it's very, very important. Family is like the bedrock. Okay, so we just want to go out and hear from other people out there. We're back. So my viewers out there, let us keep a date with the physicians. We want to hear what you have to say. She's sharing her experience as a stage 4 cancer survivor. When you hear of stage 4 cancer survivor, is like cancer that has spread from its original site where it all started, and it has spread to other places. For the case of our own girls here, had actually went to the liver, and we know the importance of the liver. It's a major organ in the body. It's actually the largest organ, and it actually does a whole lot to the body. So imagine cancer that has spread to the liver, and she is here in the studio talking to us, the physicians, and you are watching her live. So let us hear what you have to say out there about cancer. How have you had someone who had cancer? How supportive have you been to that person? How did the person survive? We'll be back after the short break.
Yes, I've actually seen someone with cancer before, and actually it was cancer of the breast.
Yes, I have seen. I also have a relative that had cancer of the breast.
The question is two sides, in the sense that if it's detected early enough, it has. But if it's not detected early enough, if it has gone past the stage medically approved, it does not have a cure.
I don't think there's a cure for cancer.
I don't believe it has a cure, but I believe you can manage at the early stage.
Definitely. I have seen someone who survived cancer.
Though I've not seen the person, but I had someone that said his mother survived cancer.
No, I haven't.
Go for screening, especially for the women. We can go for breast screening, cervical screening, and seek medical help.
It's early detection.
If you go for regular checkups, it could be detected at the early stages and you could go for some treatment.
Welcome back to your program, The Physicians, where your health is our business. We've been hearing in the studio with us here our guests talking about her experience. She's a stage 4 cancer survivor. Why am I saying stage 4? Why is the emphasis on stage 4? Stage 4 which is also referred to as a metastatic cancer. It is because it has spread from its site of origin to distant parts of the body. So it is not still within the confines of where it started. It means it has gone somewhere else. So you are not just dealing with its origin, you are also going to deal with other parts of the body, the challenges that come with it. So that I always make emphasis on, so that we can know that she is a stage 4 cancer survivor. And we have, her name is Dr. Amadasun Izuhunwa. She's actually a stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm so proud of her. Looking at her like this, you won't even know that she went through all that she's been narrating. So Dr. Amadasun, thank you so much for all that you have shared. And I did ask about a support group, if you joined one, and you made reference to your family being the first support group that you had. So you want to tell us how important, what did you gain as a family? Did you come close, just to give you experience?
So yes, I mean, I've always known family is important, but through that cancer experience, like it made me understand just how much my family, I really don't know how I would have been able to pull through without my family. It is so important. It is so important for you to, people who really love you, want to see you, I mean, beat this, go through it, giving you that positive energy, sacrificing for you, doing all they can to make sure that you get of this. It's really like a team effort. It's tough for anybody to be able to go through the journey alone. So my family is vital. Like I said, resources, being able to provide the resources to see me through my treatments, my travel, like all of that, being with me through that time, travel, I mean, having to move around, things around in their life. Like it was at certain points, I even used to feel like guilty, like I'm taking a lot out from them, right? But yes, their support, all the things they did for me was invaluable in that time. And yeah, also my close friends.
Okay, so from the time of diagnosis till the time you declared you are in remission, how long did it take?
Okay, so for me it was 21 months. Yes, it was 21 months. A very long.
Really aggressive.
Yeah. It was aggressive. So I mean, it was an aggressive cancer, and yeah, doctor said it has to be followed with an aggressive treatment. So through like the time that was declared in remission, it was by 21 months.
Okay, so now for these couple of our viewers out there, would you want to tell us what one can do to reduce the risk of developing cancer, and for one who has developed or had cancer, from its reoccurring?
Okay. Yeah, so key things. Now there are things that we can do something about, right? Which is what has to be the focus. Really modifying your lifestyle, if it's not the healthiest, is really key. And when I say lifestyle, the first thing is one's diet. I mean, we've probably heard you are what you eat, right? Diet is really key because your diet influences a lot of things that go on your cells and your body. So it's really important when we say healthy foods. It's not about being like so strict or eating just certain food classes per se, but it's about making sure that the things that you need to avoid. So if you have to, your alcohol intake, for instance, being in moderation, because alcohol can make you prone to certain cancers, right? So doing that, and then having more of the fruits, the vegetables, the white meat, there are all those things. So have more of that.
You said white meat. For the purpose of our viewers there, examples?
Okay, so examples, go-to is fish, right? So fish is really good. I mean, things like chicken, turkey is fine. So kind of give that a preference over red meats, things like beef and goat meat, all of that. So yes, just do more of that. Hydrate very well. It's really important to do that. Exercise is a very, very good one for your body. And these two things, diet and exercise, there's no like substitute for them. It's really important that you do
diet and exercise.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and then it's also important that if there's something, you notice something kind of off about your body, go get it properly checked. There are some times that we have symptoms, we have pointers to something bigger going on that we kind of just brush off. Maybe you have pain somewhere, you say it's stress, it's just stress. They're just different things. Like cancer can be one of the reasons why it's tricky is that it can be very non-specific, in that it's just going to be something like everything else. Like cancer can be the reason why you're having fever off and on. Cancer can be the reason you have pain in one part of your body. Cancer can be the reason you gain weight even, or you lose weight. They're just different things.
So just to keep up checking.
Yeah, and regular checkups as much as possible. Even having regular checkups is, at least even for like the common things like the prostate cancer, breast cancer, we have like screenings. There's ways to check all these things. It's really important. And then for the survivors, I think I would say is, even when declared in remission, regular checkups after then are key.
Maybe they want to understand what you mean by remission.
Okay, so remission just means someone who has had a diagnosis of cancer, right? Someone who has had a diagnosis of cancer, and then when you do your test investigations, there's no trace of any active disease. So no cancer cells have been picked up through like your scans or maybe your rebiopsy and things like that. So you're declared in remission. So follow up after then, like your doctors will always put you on a follow-up program. For mine, it's every 6 months. So you kind of go, there are certain parameters that are being checked, and it's really, really key for one not to just say, okay, I'm in remission now, and then just kind of forget all about it and go on with your life. Those checks are important. So typically it's like every 6 months for the first 5 years after being in remission, and then yearly after that. If there's anything that may possibly is picked up, maybe other tests need to be done, or there has to be like a more frequent follow-up. But those things, those checks are really, really important. And see, one thing I really have to hammer home is that cancer does not discriminate, and nobody is immune to cancer. It's really important that we know that. So regardless of your age, because I mean even babies have cancer, unfortunately, regardless of your age, regardless of your race, what kind of work you do, your belief system, none of that. Like there's nothing that excludes you from having it. So it's something like you should really take your health very importantly. If you have any kind of, even those chronic illnesses, things, and even conditions like being obese and stuff, there are things that can make you prone to developing cancer. Those are things that you need to watch out for.
Okay, so I know you've written a book about your cancer journey.
Yes.
Do you want to just something in the 60 seconds?
Okay, yes. So my Rooftop is called Rooftop, My Struggles and Triumph Over Stage 4 Cancer. So this book I've written to be able to narrate my whole experience, like the weeks leading up to my diagnosis, everything through the treatments up until remission. And it's really giving insight on the perspective of a survivor herself, showing you what it's really like to go through what I went through, the things that kind of led me through that process up to victory, the role my family, my friends, healthcare providers, people actually did, even the survivors. And we all know, even if we may not be the people who are suffering from cancer or have battled cancer ourselves, we know of people either in close proximity or we've heard of somebody who has suffered from cancer. It's that common in society right now, unfortunately. And this is a way to be able to really know what it is like, know how you can be of help to people in that situation, like truly help, because sometimes we may feel we're helping but we're actually doing more harm. So know what actually works. This book will give you a lot of insight. And just as an add-on, I'm actually doing a work very important work with the Foundation for Cancer Care.
Okay.
That's the foundation affiliated with the hospital I got my treatments in Lagos, Lakeshore Cancer Center. And the idea is a percentage of the proceeds from sale of this book. It just got launched a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to go into helping cancer survivors with their pain management, with mental support and all of that. So
Thank you very much, Dr. Amadasun, for coming on our program, and she has promised us that she's going to give us some of these books then. So for our viewers out there, you'll be able to have access to this book if you go on our social media handle, go to our website. If you watch today's episode, like you are listening now and you hear so much about it, you can actually tell us some of the summary, some of the things that you learned from what she said. And if you do get it correctly, we'll send a book to you from your you just give us your address and we'll send a book to you. So thank you again, Dr. Amadasun, for coming on our program. I want to tell you congratulations. I rejoice with you, and I know that you continue to be in remission. Okay?
Yeah.
So thank you for the struggles. Thank you for putting life in other people, giving others hope that if the will is there, you can actually survive. And thanks to your family too for the support. So for our viewers out there, I just want to say thank you for keeping a date with us today again on The Physicians, because your health is always our business. Remember to follow us on our social media handles, on our YouTube, on our Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And of course, you can visit our website. Even as I'm talking, you can decide to type and go to our website, and you will see a whole lot there. Very, very rich website. You can learn a whole lot from it. Like I said, you can actually read a book just giving us a summary of what you learned today. My name is Dr. Martina Agberie. Till next time, stay blessed.